In seeking to be a source of good in the world, it is important to build a team as excited as yourself to support that mission. For a company like Spark, that means finding the right distributors to get your life-changing product into the hands of as many disadvantaged people as possible. Hello, we are Team 5, and these are our recommendations regarding the distribution of Spark Mindset's cybersecurity course.
I'm Anna Burkett.
Hi, I'm Catherine McCoy.
I'm Gabe Steiner.
My name is Nicholas Tishkowski.
I'm Dion Van Tiggelen.
And I'm Marissa Villaforte.
Let me start off with a familiar story. A learning platform that started small and grew to become a major player in the industry is called Coursera. In 2012, the two Stanford University computer science professors, Andrew and Daphne, founded Coursera as a platform for offering online courses to students around the world. Today, Coursera partners with more than 200 universities and organizations to offer over 4,000 online courses and degree programs to more than 77 million learners in over 190 countries. By starting small and focusing on the core offering, which is online courses, Coursera was able to build a strong foundation for growth and expansion. And by partnering with the top universities and constantly innovating and improving its offerings, the company has become a leader in the online learning industry. We understand that selecting the right channels can be difficult with numerous options available, and it can be challenging to decide which ones would be most effective for your business. However, after conducting extensive research and analyzing our findings, our team has narrowed down the options to two top contenders. We know that your time and resources are valuable, and that's why we have carefully considered each channel's pros and cons to ensure that our recommended channels are the best fit for your needs. So without further ado, let's explore the two channels. Firstly, Odysseyware is a financially attractive option for Spark's Mindset because it offers an affordable yet high-quality online learning platform. By partnering with Odysseyware, Spark Mindset can avoid the cost and logistical challenges of creating their online learning platform. Additionally, Odysseyware's pricing structure is designed to be accessible for students from a wide range of backgrounds, which is in line with Spark's Mindset's mission to break the cycle of poverty in disadvantaged communities. Secondly, the Florida Department of Education is a financially attractive option because it offers numerous grants and funding opportunities for STEM education providers. By partnering with the Florida Department of Education, Spark Mindset can access a range of financial resources that can help them to expand their reach and impact in communities. I will leave it to Catherine to further discuss our analysis on the numbers.
Thank you, Dion. So I will be discussing the financials for both Odysseyware and the Florida Department of Education, or FDOE. Both of these channels are really good options compared to the other proposed options. So starting with Odysseyware, it boasts positive contribution margins for both students and adults, which is the only channel that does that. It has a positive contribution margin for students of $25, and for adults, it's $1,730. So though there's kind of a low contribution margin ratio for students, sitting at 3.35%, the low costs for the course for students are extremely good for business. It entices kids to join because there's low cost barriers to entry. And then not to mention 87.1% of the projected 2023 revenues from Spark stem from the adults. So you kind of have to look at Odysseyware numbers as a blend between the really high margins from adults and the really high revenues coming from adults and the more reasonably priced options for students, leaving it at a lower rate. And then for Florida Department of Education, this one's a great option because it boasts free courses for students, which aligns very nicely with Spark's mission, and then a contribution margin for adults at $1,925. So the downside is there is a slight negative contribution margin for students sitting at negative $10. But again, we have to look at the 87.1% projected 2023 revenue coming from the adults. So we will have a positive cash flow if Spark decides to use the FDOE, but it's something to think about. And though we are already positive, we can also consider maybe improving the cash flows for Spark. We conducted a quick sensitivity analysis and noticed that if we reduce the salaries and benefits, and also improve the rate at which we can get cash back for Spark Mindset, it greatly improves the total external financing needed. Pearson's, which great channel, very credible. However, we immediately eliminated it from our consideration due to the fact that it doesn't really fit financially with Spark. It has negative financials, extremely negative contribution margin for students at negative $560, and then negative contribution margin for adults at negative $93. So I'm going to pass it over to Gabe to talk more about the social missions and the fits for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Like she just said, I'm going to be talking about Spark's social mission with these channels. Looking at the graphic, you can tell that our two choices, Odyssey-Ware and Florida Department of Education, this isn't their strong suit. Obviously, they don't fit as well as the others. Urban Assembly and Colorado Workforce Development Council, while they really fit with Spark's mission of helping disenfranchised communities, they really are limited as they're only going to reach a few thousand people. On the other hand, Odyssey-Ware and the Florida Department of Education will allow for hundreds of thousands of students to have access. This sheer outreach of these channels will allow for Spark to still continue its social mission, while there might not be a direct correlation. For example, Florida had over 120,000 students sign up for middle school and high school technology courses, 53.8 of which are economically disenfranchised. So really hitting home on Spark's social mission there. And then in terms of Odyssey-Ware, with their acquisition of Edgenuity and their partnership with Imagine Learning, they're going to reach over 14 million students in America. And just the sheer number of that will allow Spark to hang their hat on being able to help these disenfranchised communities. So overall, while Odyssey-Ware and the Florida Department of Education lack a direct correlation to Spark's social mission, the sheer outreach of these channels will still allow for Spark to hang their hat on getting their social mission done. Now I'm going to hand it off to Marissa to talk about the target markets.
Thank you, Gabe, for touching on the social mission of Spark and how Odyssey-Ware and Florida Department of Education fits into that. Now I'll be discussing how those two companies fit into Spark's target market. So if we first take a look at this diagram on the slide here, you can see how both Odyssey-Ware and Florida Department of Education have two check marks in the boxes of target consumers for high school students and young adults. And this is just because they have programs that offer to both high school and young adults. And you can see how Pearson also checks off both of those boxes. But as Catherine discussed earlier, Pearson is not a financial fit for Spark. And if we look at Colorado Workforce and Urban Assembly, Gabe did mention how those do fit in with the social mission for Spark and with the target market of disadvantaged communities, but they don't have both programs offered to high school students and young adults. Now, looking back at Odyssey-Ware and Florida Department of Education, they both don't specifically target disadvantaged consumers, as Gabe also mentioned, but with a wide range of consumers, they would help out Spark immensely for their target market. For Florida, it's a largely populated area and very diverse. In their school system, Hispanic and African American students make up over half of their student body. Also, 53.8% of students in Florida are economically disadvantaged. And looking at Odyssey-Ware, they serve over 10 million students and they partner with 20,000 schools. And those schools make up 25% of the largest school districts in America. And if we look at the overall target market of Spark, that would be anyone who's interested in a career in cybersecurity. And with Odyssey-Ware and Florida Department of Education, those two companies fit that target because they provide Spark with a wide range of consumers. And now I'll be passing it on to Anna to discuss the brand credibility.
Thank you, Marissa. So to be credible is to be trusted, and our group sees that Odyssey-Ware and the Florida Department of Education fit into the most credible category. You may ask why Persons is higher, but we haven't chosen them. But we've seen that their financials just don't match what our group sees as best fit. Odyssey-Ware has been around since the 70s, and they've continued to evolve with technology that has enabled them to establish themselves as a renowned online course provider. This company is well distinguished in North America because they have such a broad outreach to students in the US, and they have so many years of wisdom in the field. And we believe that the Florida Department of Education, their commitment to spending $8,000 per student per year on online courses speaks volumes to how much they care about providing quality education to Florida's youth. And that's why we see these two as being the best fit and brand credibility. Now I'll pass it on to Nick to give us some concluding thoughts.
Taking a step back, it's important to remember that Spark Mindset's desire to maximize their reach to potential students is not just to generate maximum profit, but to offer an opportunity to people that may have no other way out. We believe that, with our recommendations, Spark will be able to reach a wide range of disadvantaged students while continuing to grow as a company. With that in mind, we hope our presentation has been informative and helpful towards your success and the success of your students. Thank you.